This week is the first week of a new parliament where over 335 brand new MPs will be walking into the Palace of Westminster, possibly for the first time. The day that MPs are elected, they receive a big envelope that has all the information in it that they need. They get information from the clerk that includes information about expenses, where to go, who their buddy is, and how to navigate the general bizarre world of British politics that new MPs are going to be finding themselves in. On their first day, they will arrive, they'll get their security pass, and they will get their official MP portrait. And as I said, they'll then be assigned a buddy who will help them navigate Westminster and all the different nooks and crannies in the rooms that are within the Palace of Westminster that make up the complete maze that is our UK Parliament. Then all MPs need to be sworn in, and this process can take quite a long time, which is why the King's Speech doesn't take place until the 17th of July. And during this time, there will be no parliamentary business that takes place, but MPs will go about the general business of working and conducting their first few days in Parliament. So that will be things like working out where their office might be, which actually could take over 5 weeks. Apparently in 2010, it took 59% of MPs well over 5 weeks to get an office. So they'll be walking around in no man's land and they'll be given a locker and be sent on their way. But there'll be a lot of hot desking. They'll be given a laptop into their essential kit and be told to go and look for a flat so they have somewhere to live in Westminster. They will be told to find parliamentary staff that may be based somewhere in an office when they get one. Often MPs, parliamentary staff, share offices. They may be lucky enough, if they've curried enough favour with their whip, or whether they've been a very long-standing MP or they're a particularly senior MP, they may get a really nice office for themselves and then their staff will have a separate office. Meanwhile, ministers are kind of facing a whole new level of information, which is in addition for some of them, if they've not already been MPs before, which we're seeing for the first time quite a few MPs getting ministerial jobs, which is quite unusual. They are then facing 2 new jobs. So they're not only a new MP, but they're also a new minister. So they will be going into the different rooms across Whitehall, the different offices, to meet their civil service. The civil service has been referred to as the permanent government. So they are there to help provide some stability. So Director Generals, permanent secretaries, private office staff, they all remain the same. So it's a bit different to MPs who all the parliamentary staff essentially lose their jobs. Not always, but a lot of them will, given the number of MPs that we have. Private office staff in different departments will remain the same. So their first few days will be instructing ministers on how the job works, how kind of advice works. They will be given a whole raft of advice from across the civil service, which civil servants will have been curating over the last few weeks, so that ministers are quickly brought up to date with everything that they need to know, where different policy is at the moment, what decisions they'll need to be immediately taken, the most big strategic priorities for that department, things that can kind of wait a little bit longer. And ministers will have to make quite a lot of decisions quite quickly and be helped to get up to speed by the civil service. So there's so much going on in the first few weeks. We are expecting parliamentary recess to happen possibly around the 31st of July. That's an extension from where it was before the election was called. But there's a lot to be done in the next few weeks.